My brother Mark and I are headed out of Phoenix past Camelback Mountain on the way south to Interstate 10, going by Picacho Peak, which is south of Phoenix, and we're headed down to Old Tucson, Arizona. It's a short drive from I-10 over to Old Tucson by way of Gates Drive. Beautiful rolling hills up into the mountains. All those beautiful saguaro cactus. Incredible, incredible drive. Beautiful, beautiful area. Old Tucson, nestled against the backdrop of the vast Sonoran Desert, unfolds like a weathered page from the history of the American West. Every corner of this nostalgic enclave, originally crafted as a movie set in 1939 for the movie Arizona, speaks of a bygone era, transporting visitors to a time when frontier towns thrived on the spirit of adventure and the promise of a new frontier. Old Tucson stands as a captivating testament to the enduring allure of the Old West. Let's go take a tour. Let's see what Old Tucson is all about. There's Braden, one of the staff workers here at the gift shop. What do you think, bud? There you go. There you go. That's neat.
Yeah? Okay. Let's keep going. Hello there. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. This is what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and scan your tickets or your phone, whatever you got. Then once I do that, if you would pass through the doorway here, sort of hang out in the shade, then we'll all leave together into the park. Sound good? Sounds good. Tucson. My name is Santee. I'll be your guide. Who's been here before? Anybody? Show of hands. Nobody. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, this is a great time. Anyway, yeah, just follow me, stay with me, don't wander off, but you're welcome to take pictures. Absolutely. He's already doing it. So if you don't have any, just get his email address. You can get them from him. He's, fred@uofa.com, right?
That's it.
Okay,
That's it.
right. Anyway, now let's head on into the park. And if you have any questions, like I said, ask me. By the way, I'm going to be testing you all on your Western cinema knowledge. So I hope you're all prepared. Or not, I can tell. He is. Oh, you're pointing at him. You're throwing him under the bus. Huh? All right, let's go. All right. Yeah. Okay, that's one of the very many movies about this famous Arizona gunfight. But the last 9.5 minutes is that gunfight. It happens right in this area. It starts way behind that barn, and it goes way to that gazebo. Everybody's got shotguns. 15 people are at least involved. People are falling off of buildings. They're getting caught on fire. It's really exciting. And it's really incorrect. If you guys have been down to Tombstone, anybody? Down to Tombstone, checked it out, done a little history? Yeah. You know, it's a 30-second shootout. It happens in a place not much bigger than this. The people are closer than you and I are. Nobody fell off a building. Nobody got caught on fire. Nobody got shot off a horse with a flaming, none of that. That's all Hollywood, especially back in the 1950s. Hollywood is all about the entertainment factor, right? They don't care about history much back then. But every movie has that Western action because that's what we all crave. We're all sickos, right? We got to watch that stuff. So, we have to forgive Hollywood. They're getting better, by the way. They're adding more history in. They're never going to be perfect because this gunfight's a good example. It's too close, it's too personal, it's too smoky. They just can't do it right and make it look good. So, we have to forgive Hollywood. Do you forgive Hollywood?
Sure.
Do you forgive Hollywood? Do you forgive Hollywood? Do you forgive them for the fact that there's 6 shooters hold 49 bullets without a reload?
Wow. That's a lot.
At least, right?
At
They
least.
keep doing it. Okay. Anyway, yeah. So, way down there in the shitter by the name of Joe Burdett. Joe Burdett is played by Claude Akins. Joe Burdett killed a guy in a saloon. Everybody saw it, and good old Joe's probably going to get hanged for it. However, John is a little nervous that someone's going to break him out before that happens. So he sends his crack deputy down here by the name of Dude. And Dude plants himself in front of the blacksmith shop, and he's checking people's guns as they enter into town and hanging them on hooks over here at the OK Corral. It wasn't the OK Corral then. Okay, he's hanging hooks. Now, anybody remember the movie?
Oh yeah.
Who played Dude? A rifle pony and
Dean Martin.
Dean Martin. Did you say that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. Good job. I didn't hear you.
Just
Sorry.
watched it last week like
Did you?
three times.
Okay. So Dean Martin's over here checking guns. He's looking in a water trough. He's got a moment. The bad guys come up behind him, dunk him in there, hog tie him, and throw him inside. John Wayne, way down there. He figures it all out. Probably because he read the script. But he comes down here, guns a-blazing, kills all the bad guys, gets old Dean Martin out of there, unties him, and 15 minutes later, Dean Martin gets captured again. Yeah, because he's good at that. Yeah. All right, this was also used in a movie called Arizona Raiders. Arizona Raiders starred a guy that you may have heard of, Audie Murphy. An important dude in America because Audie Murphy comes back from World War II, the most decorated soldier, right? He becomes a hero. He becomes a movie star. Right, there's a whole bunch of westerns and a couple of war movies. The last movie he made was called A Time for Dying. He played Jesse James, and that was also filmed here in Arizona. All right, we're going back behind that big old barn. Let's go. We got John Wayne stuff up. All right, the back of this barn is kind of important because it features prominently in all four of John Wayne's westerns filmed out here. And those are Rio Bravo, as discussed, followed by McClintock, then El Dorado, then Rio Lobo. In Rio Lobo and Rio Bravo, the gunfights happen right where you guys are standing. We put pictures up here on the doors showing you the exact placement of Mr. John Wayne, right there. Bad guy Claude Akins, and little Ricky Nelson in the window right behind you. Right, this is where the good guys are. Bad guys are over there in the warehouse. Don't look, it's not there anymore, I'll tell you what. The warehouse is in that picture over there. That's where Nathan Burdett is. That's Joe's brother. Joe's brother Nathan. He's trying to get him out of jail the whole movie. Now he's got his opportunity because he stole Dean Martin. There has to be a prisoner exchange to get him back. Which happens about where you are, sir, right there in the flowery shirt. And Dean Martin tackles Joe Burdett because he's not letting him go. He's a killer. He needs justice. So as they're passing each other, he tackles him, takes him over to that building, beats the tar out of him. John Wayne then throws him a gun because now the gunfight's going on. We have a problem here. It's a Western recipe. There's too many bad guys. And there ain't enough good guys. But the good guys gotta win, right? Is that how this works? Anybody there were flipping the action? In order for the good guys to get over here, they're swimming underneath the waters of the Rio Lobo River with reeds in their mouths so they can breathe so nobody will detect them. Okay, there's no water in there. I know that. The pump is broken. Guys, when you watch all these movies, it sure does look like we have a lot of naturally occurring water out here. But this is the Sonoran Desert. And the operative word there is desert. We don't have that. Just crossed the bridge. Some of you probably didn't even realize it. It's not a very impressive bridge, but it doesn't have to be. It's a movie star bridge. And it's been here for a long time. I have a feeling, and I hope, this is my hope actually, not just a feeling, that you're going to go home and watch the movies, maybe check out where you were staying in today when you took the tour, sort of get an idea of these John Wayne movies and Burt Lancaster and Kirk Douglas films. You're going to look for these buildings you saw on the tour thus far. You're going to see them, but you might not recognize them, because they have porches and boardwalks now. They didn't have them back then, and that really throws the look of the building off. Trust me, I work here, I see it all the time, and sometimes I can't pinpoint the buildings I'm telling you about, but they're here. But that bridge hasn't moved since 1939. Every actor has crossed it in every movie, and you just crossed it too. So when you look for those buildings, look for the bridge too. The bridge will definitely help you out. You're welcome. Okay, now, welcome to Town Square. Hotel Del Toro, the Apothecary, and the brewery are all from that 1940 movie, Arizona. They're all adobe structures. Okay? They've been refaced many times for many different movies. You see them in a popular one called Winchester 73. That stars Jimmy Stewart. In that James Stewart movie, he ties his horse up at that tree there. By the way, this is the town of Tascosa, Texas. Anybody from Texas? You are? Okay, don't take offense to this next part, but Rio Lobo was Texas, El Dorado was Texas, and Rio Bravo was Texas. Every time they filmed episodes of Gunsmoke and Bonanza, it was Texas, and a movie out here called Young Guns of Texas, this was Texas. We've been Texas more than you've been Texas. I'm pretty sure. Okay, anyway, that's the, you still have the best barbecue though, right? Hands down? Okay. I think they're angry. I think I angered the Texans. Anyway, okay, so he ties his horse up over there. You see a beautiful view of these buildings. The Hotel del Toro only had the one story. It got its second story the following year in 1951 for a movie called The Last Outpost, which starred a president of our United States. Anybody? Ronald Reagan. If you've never seen Ronald Reagan as a young man actor in a Western, watch another Western. This one's terrible. I'm sorry, but it is. You can watch it if you want. I'm not going to tell you not to, but even Ronald Reagan couldn't say that. So, all right. Now, the second story and first story are made of wood like everything else around here, and you see them for the next 30 years that way in all sorts of movies. And one of the famous ones was the Buchanan Rides Alone. That's what I said it up. All right, let's go inside. But you're welcome to sit down if you'd rather. Now this set is originally called the Mission de Santa Maria. It dates back to the 1940 movie Arizona when it was a small adobe chapel that they used to hold services in. It's kind of a fun thing. And this core building has changed and it's moved. It's probably the most changed building here. But yeah, it changed. It doesn't look like the original chapel at all anymore. And it moved. It used to be about 15 feet over that way. And there's, again, that big famous building. All right. The cool thing about this place is, I think, is that it's in the background of like 80% of the movies and TV shows you see out here. That's cool because why would they change it so much? But they do. They do. It's cool. Okay, everybody. Welcome to Town Hall. The flag spoke your name. That's the David 72 house and said because you own this land, they want us to keep it that way. But in trouble that we still call it John Mine. So anyway, this was built after the fire, and it is built for filming in mind. We have a lot of sets in here. Over there at that side, we have a mercantile. Over here, we have a bank. And there's a courtroom right there. They're all things that have been used in movies and TV shows. If you notice up here, we have a fake balcony. It's actually a real balcony. I'm sorry, it's not a fake balcony. It's a real balcony, but there's not a second floor. The only way to get to the balcony is that little ladder right there. There was a reason for that. You don't need it to be a second floor functionally. But the truth is that this is built for filming it, but that's why it's so big in here. I think it accommodates cameras, swimming, lighting equipment, and scaffolding and stuff like that in here. But when we need it to look like it's the second floor, we'd have that balcony with some maps. There's also black ceilings in here. If you look inside when we go in, those are also that the director of photography can light the scene how they want to. They don't have to worry about reflected white light coming from this, which is a killer, by the way, in Westerns because we're all wearing these. They need to keep light to the top, create shadows here. So this way, they can light the way look around, go check out the good time, go check out the farming. Don't go around and take and then everything else. Just take a look at it. Sorry that that's a dirty brew over there, but we got to meet it up. It's doing get reset. To you. We come back out here and we're going to talk about some posters with such.
It's a courtroom Order in the court, bud. Are you going to be the magistrate? There he is. Do it. Good deal. We're in the courtroom in Old Tucson.
I'll show you. This is actually a collection of lobby parts from the very movie that put this place on the map. This is Arizona, 1940 when it came out, filmed in 39. And I promised you all that I would show you a photo of Gene Arthur and William Holden, and they don't look 17 years apart. Well, oh, there it is. Oh, Santee, come on now. We can tell that's a painting. We can all see it from here. You're right. Oh, so am I. Now, these are all black and white photos. They've been tinted or colorized, which is a procedure they did back in the 30s and 40s, sometimes by hand, sometimes by machine, to give a little life to these black and white photos. Now, I tried to look it up so I can help you guys understand it more, but it's a rabbit hole. I mean, I thought it was going to be an easy 2-sentence thing. Heck no. So I can't go into details about it because it's too much to my brain. My brain only holds enough Western movie stuff that don't need it. But if you look closely at these, you'll see the desaturated parts that they didn't bother to tint because that wasn't the point. The point was to make certain things pop out at you. Now, 1939, that's a big year for color for Hollywood, right? Who can name a movie that came out in 39 in colors? Wizard of Oz. No, I heard of both. Wizard of Oz, and what was the other one? God with the Wind. Yeah, God with the Wind. There were a couple others, but one of the ones that's applicable to the Western genre is the first 3-color Technicolor Western was Jesse James, you start Tyrone Poe. Mm-hmm. So yeah, big year for color. However, this movie came out in black and white. Well, why? They had $2.3 million, which is like $70-something million back then, right? Why didn't they come out enough? Apparently, Columbia Pictures was holding funds back for the war effort. So that's pretty cool. All right, that's vamoose. We can mosey too. Your right, sister was it? We were at that news.
Here's the bridge.
Pretty much, yeah. I grew up just like a lot of you people. I grew up watching westerns with my folks, especially my dad. It was a moment that we could share together. And now, but okay, now before we head down, I want to tell you we just traversed a lot of rocks and dirt and sand, and some of you were in sandals. Bob Shelton back in 1960 was thinking about you folks because when he opened the park, he wanted you to have the best experience possible, and in his mind, that was to cover this whole place in asphalt, which is what he did. He had it covered in asphalt so that you wouldn't have rocks and sand in your shows, be dumping them when you get into your car. However, that fella John Wayne had something to say about that. He came in to shoot McClintock, told him to tear it all up. It would hurt the horse's hooves. And there you go. We're back to rocks and sand again, which I'm sure you all agree is the proper thing that should be out here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't say that if it was raining. Okay, let's... It's just the flip of what you guys have to deal with. When it's minus 20, you don't go out for a whole day, do you? You go out and get your newspaper and get back in and turn the heat on. Well, we do the reverse of that. Except me, who gives tours in 108 degrees. All right, now, you got a cool building over your left shoulder. Some of you, it's just over front of you. That Southern Pacific Railroad station is authentic. It's a real building from the Old West. It's an actual Southern Pacific Railroad station from Amado, Arizona. It dates back to 1900, making it the oldest building on the property. I know a lot of you are looking at that building going, well, come on, Santee, that one looks older. It's not. It's just Adobe sometimes looks like a drunk people make it. That's all. It's just, look, it's all crooked. There's no straight lines. It's crazy. Maybe they do. I don't know. All right, now, this guy is not from the Old West, right? They didn't have armored stagecoaches in the Old West, but Hollywood sure thinks they did because they use them in a lot of movies.
The war
This was
wagon.
made for a movie, and the cool thing about it is that it cost thousands of dollars to be made, and when they were done, the director wanted to take it back to California with it, because who wouldn't want this in their front yard, right? Make a nice planter out of this. But it was going to cost an additional 10 grand, so he left it here. And that's cool because now we have it. The weird part is you left it. Really, you left this expensive piece of, a weird prop to leave. But this is not unusual. Since I've been working out here, thankfully I've been in a number of films, and I'm telling you, they all leave something behind. Usually it's on purpose because it's money. It all comes down to money. When the cantina was, the schoolhouse was a cantina for that Jacqueline Bisset movie, I'm pretty sure that the Mexican furniture was not ours. They bought some, left it here, that kind of thing. It was too expensive to take back. The weirdest one was in August, when it was 114 degrees out here. In August, we shot a music video out here, starring a person, I can't remember his name, I'm sorry, but what he is kind of keeps me up at night. He's a Chinese country western rap artist. I'm not sure any of those things should go together, but yeah, he sure was. And he brought a whole bunch of stuff with him, and he brought a rooster as well. But when he left, he took everything except the rooster. So for 2 days, we had a rooster running around my tours until someone finally caught it, and ironically tied it up at Big Jake's barbecue restaurant up there. We stayed for a week having to smell barbecue. That's just mean. Somebody, a rancher that works here, took him, and that's where he is now. He's living on a ranch. All right, now this thing's not made of metal at all. Made of wood. If it was made of metal, it would be extremely expensive. It would also be really heavy, and heavy means expensive because this thing takes about 4 to 6 Percheron or Belgian draft horses to pull it. If you make this out of metal, you're doubling that number easy. And if you know about horse flesh, you'll know that Percherons and Belgians are basically the price of a car each. So you just don't make them out of metal. It's way too expensive, right? They're not going to know. You're not going to know. Well, some of you will know, but maybe you won't care. But anyway, yeah, that's the cool thing. Okay. They haven't ever stopped making Westerns. Since 1903, they keep making them. And that's an important takeaway. I get that question a lot. They still make Westerns? Yeah, they do. We don't see them as much as we did back in the 50s and 60s. And sadly, a lot of them lately have not been very good. However, there are a lot of Westerns coming out this year. All right, that includes sequels to like 1923, I think maybe Yellowstone. Costner's got a new one called Horizons coming out. There's movies that were filmed here, Texas, California. They're all coming out too. Some of them are already out. So the takeaway here, guys, is that they're not going to stop making them. This is something that's uniquely America. Our Old West is ours. And everybody in the world loves it. Right? For some reason, everybody in the world loves it, and you love it, which is why you guys are here today. If you want a place like this to stay in another 85 years, you got to watch the Westerns. That's your job, should you choose to accept it, okay? Watch Westerns, get your kids to watch Westerns and your grandkids to watch them. Let this place stay in another 85 years. Thank you all for taking the tour today. Let's get out of here. Move them out. Right. Let's go.
How many
That's the best thing to come up.
Well, here we are leaving the last outpost in Old Tucson. Well, I hope you enjoyed that little tour of Old Tucson. I sure did. Anyway, if you liked this video, hit the like button. Also, hit the subscribe button too. It really helps out the channel. Anyway, what a beautiful view of the mountains. Thank you so much for watching.